Let me bring back what JJ Redick said yesterday in his exit interview. This is how he starts out, and I want to know how you think this resonated with Luka.
I'll start with the offseason and the work that's required in an offseason to be in championship shape. And, you know, we have a ways to go as a roster. And certainly there are individuals that were in phenomenal shape. There's certainly other ones that could have been in better shape. That's where my mind goes immediately is you know, we have to get in championship shape.
He's on the cusp of saying, Luka, I'm talking about you. How do you think Luka is taking this?
I mean, when you get traded and the underlying tenor of that was, we think you're fat and out of shape and you don't play defense and we don't think your career is going to last very long as it should, that should be a wake-up call in itself. I'm a bit surprised that Luka didn't get himself in better shape in LA once he was traded, having that sort of wake-up call, that sort of public embarrassment. Like, say what you want about being traded to the Lakers and you're the next guy and everything else. Dallas rejected him, or Nico Harrison rejected him in such a way that was public and in such a way that usually challenges a player. And then JJ Redick goes out there and challenges him. Like that, Dan, he was fooled in that series against the Lakers. He was blown by every single time, and he just looked so gassed and out of it. And by the time game 5 came around, you could tell he was going to be productive, but he can be productive with his eyes closed. Like, Dan, go look at what Luka looked like as a rookie when he was a teenager. You're like, man, he looked like an Adonis compared to the guy that we see now. So I suspect he will come back in better shape because, you know, he wasn't talking about LeBron James. Like, we know who he was talking about there. So, yeah, Luka got challenged publicly in a way that he has to respond now.
Doesn't this back up what Nico Harrison was saying in Dallas?
Yeah, it does. Does it validate the trade? Does it validate what you got in return for the trade? Does it validate that you did not scan the league to get the best return possible for the trade? I don't think anybody, I won't say there's not too many people. There's a lot of people who were like, you know what, Nico Harrison's out of his damn mind, right? But there were some people who are willing to say, you know what, I understand what Nico was doing. I just wouldn't have gone about it the way that Nico did it. And now, the greatest thing for me is this. Nico Harrison essentially called Luka Doncic a loser, pretty much. He says, I've been around world-class athletes who are winners and champions, and you don't fit the bill of that. If there is not a greater indictment, whether he's wrong or right, but for someone to basically and tacitly say that about you and then repeatedly say that about you in the aftermath and say, I'm not even afraid to trade you to the Lakers, I think that's how much of a loser you are. You'd better have a fire lit under your ass.
Yeah, and now I understand why you can trade him. You don't want to invest that kind of money. You must get a better haul in return. That would be the only thing that I would argue with this, the pushback on this. But let's say Christie and AD were still on the team and you didn't make this trade. Were they better equipped to beat Minnesota and actually make a longer run in the postseason than with Luka?
Yeah, it's one of those things like the butterfly effect, right? Like if you put that team against this Minnesota team, yeah, you got somebody that can handle Rudy Gobert, but you're not getting to the 3rd seed without Luka Doncic being able to carry the regular season load in a way that LeBron James probably can't at 40 years old in the way that you structure your roster. This was a better playoff roster with Anthony Davis. It was a better regular season roster for Luka Doncic. Like, make no mistake about it, all the things that we've said, he's still a top 3 player in the game. Let's not get it twisted. There's just more space for him to grow in the meantime.